Now, the 4-day truce deal has been extended. Qatar has confirmed the development. This comes after Israel said that it is still open to options. Mediator Qatar confirmed the news on social media platform X. Qatar said a humanitarian pause in fighting between Israel and Hamas will extend by 2 days as part of the ongoing mediation. An agreement has been reached to this effect. Meanwhile, the fourth batch of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners in exchange are set to be freed. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office has announced that the final list of Israeli hostages to be released has been conveyed to the family members. Reports say 11 Israeli hostages are to be released. 30 Palestinian prisoners will be freed in return. Hamas had released 17 hostages on Sunday, including 4-year-old American-Israeli Abigail Eden. 39 Palestinian prisoners and detainees, all teenagers, are also released. Meanwhile, Iran has called for a permanent ceasefire. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson says the ceasefire in Gaza will aim to stop Israel's ceasefire in the territory. Hamas's longtime ally Iran has denied any direct involvement in Hamas's attack on Israel. The United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees says its aid convoys delivered clean water that reached people in northern Gaza since the war began. Israel's IDF has released a video showing 200 trucks entering Gaza. The head of IDF's aid coordinator said that over 2,000 trucks have entered Gaza so far since the start of the war, transferring water, food and medical equipment. Meanwhile, tech entrepreneur Elon Musk is in Israel and met with President Isaac Herzog and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Musk also visited the Kibbutz Be'eri region that was attacked by Hamas militants on the 7th of October. I earlier spoke to retired Colonel David B. Desroches, who is a professor at the Near East South Asia Center for Strategic Studies, National Defense University, and this is what he had to say.
Well, we don't know for sure, but you know, it's a very, very complex deal. So first off, you have the fact that there needs to be a ceasefire. A ceasefire is always tenuous. If there's evidence, for example, that one side is repositioning military assets or threatening action against another, there might be some sort of preemptive attack, which, you know, will be portrayed by the other side as a violation of ceasefire. That's your first problem. Your second problem is that there might be some allegations that one side or another is mishandling either the hostages or the prisoners, and that they're not, you know, that they're basically hurting them in order to increase the incentive to settle. That's the second problem. The third problem is part of this is the flow of humanitarian aid. Humanitarian aid is supposed to go into Gaza while there is a ceasefire going on. There's been issues. One side said, you know, both sides accuse each other of impeding the flow of humanitarian aid. What we heard is that Qatar, which has played a very useful role here, has actually put diplomats on the ground to sort of inspect and escort these aid shipments into Gaza to make sure that they're actually moving properly and to, you know, be objective observers to see if somebody's impeding it. But any problem in any of those could create an issue. I think a final issue would be when we see the hostages who have been returned, when they start talking to the media, what they say. And that may inflame the situation in a way that would make a ceasefire to be untenable beyond that.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.